is National Child Abuse Prevention Month, and we've shared the stories of many kids who live in homes with abuse and neglect. Now, our next guest, a retired naval intelligence officer, a former business executive, and now father and husband, knows firsthand about all of this. Now, people who meet him might never suspect that as a child, he used to be chained to his bed, locked in the basement, and beaten. He even had to testify against his own father when he was just 16 years old. So now he's writing all about his experience. This is all in his new book called Monsters in My House. And Walt McKinley, the author, is live for us, joining us this morning. So Walt, obviously not an easy topic, but so many people obviously deal with some of these issues at home. So what made you want to put pen to paper about your experience growing up?
Yeah, that's a great question, Michael. Thank you for having me on today. I really wrote this story to give a voice to the voiceless. And we can't do the healing work in our society if we don't remove the stigma of trauma. So it was really just to bring awareness and show people their history doesn't define their legacy.
And so in your book, what are some of the things that maybe stand out to you, or what are some of the main messages you would want people, our viewers here this morning, to really take away?
Yeah, the main message to the whole entire book is just to say where you start doesn't have to be where you finished. And not only in the healing journey can you feel amazing and live in abundance, but you can also become a lighthouse in the dark and an inspiration for those people who are trying to work through their own trauma to show them that there's a different way. And so the book is really about inspiration and a story of overcoming versus just the trauma.
And for people who maybe are dealing with this, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people, whether they realize it or not, might know somebody in their own lives who is dealing with things at home that is obviously not an easy subject to talk about. So in one of your main points here, I know speak your truth is a real thing you want to get across here. So what exactly does that mean?
Yeah, there's nothing more cathartic and freeing than actually saying what you've been through out loud for the first time. And so many people struggle and they keep those places inside their soul with those secrets locked, and it adds shame and despair. When you start orating that, when you start speaking your truth, it's a freeing feeling. It's like drowning your whole life and coming up for air for the first time. So I really talk to people about owning their story, owning the power in their story, and owning the fact that they're a fighter and they're a warrior from the things that they've been through.
Yeah, I know, and we have right now bullet points of some of the topics and messages you want to get across here. And I think with Speak Your Truth comes, don't ignore it. It's something that you have to accept and acknowledge. It's also a point. Talk to me about forgiveness, though. That's something that's on, the list here. Learn to forgive. Now, how exactly does that work, especially when someone's really done some really traumatic things to you?
Michael, that's such a great question, and frankly, the hardest thing that was there for me to overcome. What I realized is those same people that hurt me never really did the healing work, and that's why generational trauma is 78% of the time within the same family. And so when I realized that hurt people hurt other people, it allowed me a little bit of empathy, even through the horrific things that happened to me. But it allowed me to know that I couldn't continue the cycle, and if I didn't find forgiveness for myself, for those people, so I can let that pain go, I'd be hanging on to that forever, and the likelihood of me repeating the cycle would increase.
All right. Well, Walt, thanks so much for joining us this morning. We understand this is, I know you've put it in a book, so you can talk about it. For a lot of people, though, it's difficult, and I'm sure you'll be an inspiration to many people this morning. So Walt's book, Monsters in My House, it is available now at bookstores and on Amazon if you're interested in buying it.